Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Modecast podcast, a podcast powered by your smart mobility provider, ModeShift. Thank you for joining us today. I'm your host, Max Mickey, and in this podcast, we talk about all things transit. Before we dive into today's episode, please subscribe and follow us on your preferred streaming platform. Now let's get started. Today, we have Ryan Brooks, and he is from Brew Bus correct?
Brew Bus Knoxville.
Brew Bus Knoxville. All right, thank you, Ryan. I get that wrong 100% of the time we talk, and my apologies.
That's okay. It's it's kind of comedic at this point, and that's fine by me.
Yeah, I like that you're chalking it up that way. I appreciate covering my my shortcomings. But so Ryan Brooks, he's the owner, operator, does it all. He's a client of ours over here at ModeShift. We just recently partnered. He's doing some pretty cool things, in that space, in the transportation side, inside of Knoxville. So we're excited to learn a little bit more about, his background today, a little bit about the organization. But if you don't mind, just kind of giving us a quick, intro or letting us know how did you kind of come into transportation. I know you have a bit of a tech background too, but how did those things kind of meld together, for you?
Absolutely. Well, to be honest, this was kind of an abrupt thing for me. I'm kind of a serial entrepreneur. I've had a few different businesses in my life, and I've worked in technology for quite some time as well. But had a friend of mine that bought a party bus in Nashville, and I was doing pretty well with it. And I was like, that's a great idea. We don't have anything really like that in Knoxville. But then I got to thinking, what we don't have is really the party scene that Nashville has. That might have posed a bit of an issue. So I had to work around that a little bit, and I figured, what we do have? We do have breweries in Knoxville. We've got about 28 of them.
Okay, wow.
We've grown from, let's see here, about 6 or 7 years ago, we had 4 microbreweries in Knoxville, and now we're up to almost 30. So, I mean, it's a great scene here in Knoxville for craft brewing, and just, if you love beer and you like to have fun and you want to be safe doing it, we're the people to call.
Yeah, very cool. So tell us a little bit more about kind of how many stops, like how does it operate for Brew Bus Knoxville, and when you're going around, like how many breweries do you go to? Does it change, based on the day? How does it operate?
So generally what we do is we'll set a schedule for, generally we run on weekends. Friday through Sunday or Thursday through Sunday, depending on the interest for Thursdays. But we do set a schedule generally monthly. We are kind of flexible with that. But we do, like the last 2 months, we've averaged 5 or 6 breweries on just a standard loop for Knoxville. And the way we try to, there's a couple different ways we go about picking those breweries. First of all, I mean, we want we want to be able to make sure that we have the best selection of breweries available. So when we go to select, a partner brewery, a big thing is where are they located in relation to other partner breweries, right? So if I can have a centrally located stop between 3 breweries, and it's one stop for me, great. That's 3 places you potentially have access to, right? So, in those 5 stops, generally you'll have within walking distance between 9 and 12 different breweries within walking distance,
Okay.
On the route. So, that's kind of the standard of what we try to do. And then, secondly, we just part of it's just beer that I like.
So, that's a pretty cool way to design a route. It's probably very different than some of our listeners out there that are, designing them around, just where people are going in a city. So it's pretty cool to say, I just really like this brewery. They have great beer. Let's send a route over there.
Exactly. Well, and that's been part of the fun of it, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I hate to use this term, but perks of the job, right? Perks of being the owner. We get to pick the route. So if I'm not driving one weekend, I've got a driver out, and I want to go, ride on and be a patron of my own business, then I want to enjoy it too.
Yeah, that's
So I want to make
awesome.
sure that I want to make sure that I know if I can go and ride as just a customer of mine and not be owner Ryan, just be Ryan, and I can go out, I can take my friends and have fun. I know that when you come out and you get over here from North Carolina and get on the bus, that you're gonna have a great time too. So, that's kind of the idea. We want to make sure that everybody has a good time, is safe, and you know, just um, just have a great time, enjoy some great beer,
Yeah,
be safe
it's
doing
a
it.
really cool idea. And you mentioned just this explosion of breweries in the last 6 or 7 years here, from I think you said 4 or 5 to up into the close to 30 now. How
Hmm.
has it just been an influx of people coming to Knoxville? Is it more entrepreneurs? Like, kind of tell us about that scene and kind of how it's grown to really create this need, for the
Hmm.
community.
I would say the short answer to that question is all the above. I
Yeah.
mean, there are a ton of people relocating to East Tennessee.
Okay.
Ton of people coming from out west, coming from the Midwest. I mean, it's amazing the amount of people that are relocating to East Tennessee for various reasons. I mean, just recently they've announced a couple of new companies coming in town. We've got two new huge Amazon facilities that are being built currently. Smith and Wesson is coming into
Mhm.
town. I mean, there's a ton of stuff coming into town, but specifically as far as the brewery scene goes, I mean, if you know anything about East Tennessee from 4, 5, 6 years ago, the brewery scene was really in Asheville, North Carolina. So about 2 hours from here,
Yep.
and that's really where it was. I think Knoxville being where it's at, like right smack between Asheville and Nashville to the west, um, we got a lot of people coming through, going to the capital and going back to Asheville and blah 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 blah. I think ideally what happened was people realized that, hey, Knoxville's a great town. Knoxville has people that like local business, and people want to support local
Mhm.
here in Knoxville. And really and truly, I think the entrepreneurial spirit here in Knoxville has really taken people to say, hey, I like craft beer. I'm from wherever. Knoxville's a great place. Let's make it happen. And so it's really taken off. I mean, when you go around and meet the different people, um, I think of Tony or Rick or golly, Jim. There's people from all different walks of life that we have that are owners of breweries in and around downtown, and it's really amazing to just like hear their stories and how they got to be where they are.
Yeah, it's really cool. I know you dropped some names there, but for our listeners, do you have a couple like favorite breweries? I know it's probably hard to pin that down, or even
Put me on the spot, why don't you?
yeah, I know I put the heat on you, or even maybe a couple of favorite like beers specifically, or even types of beer that you like. Like, what do you kind of gravitate towards? I'm usually
For
I was gonna say I'm usually like a darker beer guy. So things that are aged in like
Okay.
bourbon barrels, stouts, chocolate
Okay.
stuff. That's usually kind of my go-to, which
Okay.
is great for craft beer because usually someone's got one or two of those kind of on tap for rotation.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So when you come in, we're going to go to Next Level Brewing,
Okay.
and you're going to try their beer named Doug.
Okay.
It's just
Just
Doug.
Doug.
Uh, it's just Doug.
Well, is there a
So,
story behind the Doug?
I haven't asked the question partially because I'm afraid to. So,
All right.
but no, the guys at Next Level, they're great. They actually probably do have one of my favorites, personal favorite that I absolutely love it, and it's called Big Boy Map.
Okay.
It is an IPA. I'm an IPA or pale ale guy.
Okay.
I probably gravitate more toward pale ale than a standard IPA, but Next Level's a place that I frequent a lot. Coincidentally, it is on the route. Um,
Just a little drop in
so
there.
yeah. Why not? It's a little something for me. But Print Shop Brewing, they've got their hand crank IPA is really good. Um, Elst has a really good West Coast IPA. There's
Yeah.
so much to choose from, and I mean it's really hard. Like I said, I know. Like my go-to is a pale or an IPA,
Mhm.
but like when I branch out and even just like standard lagers, like Next Level has a like an American lager called Volun Beer. I mean, it's the volunteer state. You might as well have a
Yeah.
Volun Beer, right?
Yeah, it's a good
I mean,
one.
it's wonderful. So I mean, it's good beer. It's quality brew, and no matter where you're at. I mean, I know a lot of people are coming out with their holiday stuff right now,
Mhm.
and it's just no matter what you try in downtown. I mean, there's something for everybody. Um, from whether you like seltzer to a loaf of bread and blend it up into a beer. There's something for everybody.
We'd love to know kind of a couple things too. A, how do people kind of know and use the service and hop on? Kind of what's the best way for folks to kind of explore all the breweries, but also Brew Bus Knoxville specifically.
Absolutely, absolutely. So the best way to explore all the breweries is to hop on the Brew Bus Knoxville
Yeah.
and download the app that was so graciously made by ModeShift, and download that app, buy a ticket, generates QR code, scan it onto the bus, and that does a couple things for us. I mean, a big thing that I was asked for when I was creating this business by the breweries, and something that I wanted to provide them, um, in them allowing me to be a part of their business, is analytics into how many people I can bring to their business and how they benefit from what we're doing. And there's a couple of reasons for that. Mainly is I want people to view Brew Bus Knoxville not as just me having fun. It is a legitimate business. It is something that we are trying to do to help the downtown brewery scene, the surrounding brewery scene, and make the streets safer in Knoxville. Because I mean, this happened. I kid you not. This happened not just 2 weeks ago. I was on a route driving, and I saw somebody probably at 2 o'clock in the afternoon at one of our partner breweries, and I was like, "Hey, how's it going?" Talking to them about riding the bus. Saw them 2, 3, 4 hours later, and they're like, "Oh yeah, we're getting ready to leave," and I'm like, "Okay, cool. I hope you're Ubering home or whatever." And 30 minutes later, they're at another brewery that we're stopping at, and I'm like, "Okay, well, it's probably not wise for you to have driven here, right?" And so, I mean, we've all been there, right? It's not don't put yourself in that situation. I
Oh
guess
yeah.
that's what I'm getting at. So the I don't even know where I was headed with that. Be safe. That's what we want. We want people to be safe. We want people to be able um, to do that. And by doing that, we want to bring value to the breweries in Knoxville. We want people to not just have to choose to go to Print Shop or just go to Next Level or just go to Highwire or just go to wherever. I mean,
Mhm.
we all have our favorite places that we like to go, sure. But why just stop at one brewery when you can explore all of downtown in one day for a flat rate, and then we can show, just as a business, we can show our partners, how we're bringing value to them through the app that ModeShift has provided for us. So I know that's a roundabout answer there for you, but I tend to get off on tangents from time to time.
No, it's wonderful. I mean, I think I think about transportation kind of like an offensive lineman in football,
Mhm.
where a lot of people just kind of expect it to do its job, and it doesn't get a lot of the praise for how important that it is until
Mhm.
something goes wrong, and then everyone notices. And so that's kind of how I think about it, in general,
Mhm.
where just in the United States. most people have access to some form of transportation and getting around, and so having options to keep us safe and having fun, and kind of melding those things together. It's a pretty awesome, or it seems like from the outside, a pretty awesome thing to be working on. But I know you guys have been doing really well. Tell us, do you have any kind of plans to expand? Is there going to be more routes, more vehicles, things like that? But what's kind of the future looking like for you guys?
Absolutely. So, without going into too much detail, we do have another bus that will be coming online, hopefully by the end of this month.
Very exciting.
Hoping to have that on by New Year's Eve.
Okay.
That's the goal. That's hopefully we can launch on that day. And then, as far as growth goes, I mean, we do add breweries monthly. We change our route just to make sure that we're trying to be as friendly to the brewing community as we can, and try to make sure that we're taking people to as many places as we can. But something that's also going to launch here, I'm going to say January, maybe February. January's the hope. Is we are hoping to launch kind of like an external, just a shuttle route to like outlying areas that are outside of downtown, so people don't have to either drive 30 minutes into downtown, do the brewery shuttle, and then drive back, or Uber and pay an astronomical amount of money into downtown and then Uber home. So we're hoping to have two routes in, one in West Knoxville, one in Farragut, that we do just a couple of pickups and drop-offs, and bring people into our primary downtown loop, and then take them back at the end of the day, so that they're a lot closer to where they need to be, and save them a little bit of money and headache. And then that's probably the most. Those are probably the two most closest expansions that we have. We are looking at another market for 2022. We're actually looking at two other markets for 2022. I'll keep you posted on those.
Yeah, it's exciting. It's a teaser for later. Yeah.
Just stay tuned on that one.
Yeah, I like it. Well, wonderful. Again, appreciate coming on the show. For anyone listening, and if you're in or around Knoxville, and you want to check out some awesome beer, have a nice, clean, safe ride to get you where you need to go, please check out Brew Bus Knoxville. Again, Ryan, thanks for being on. Looking forward to hearing about more things coming out, and about the growth and success. And it's been fun to watch. So can't wait to hear more.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me, and I hope we can do this again soon.
Yeah, thanks, Ryan. We'll talk later.
Zip.
Bye. If you enjoyed this episode, please be sure to subscribe so you're notified when a new episode is posted. We would love if you rate and review this podcast and share it with colleagues and friends in the industry. Thanks so much for listening, and I hope you're leaving with some great takeaways. I am your host, Maxwell Mickey, and until next time.